Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Inner Life of Cats. I'm your host, Sarah, and oh my goodness, do we have an absolutely fascinating episode for you today.
And I'm Mike. Sarah, I am so pumped about this. We're diving deep into part one of Thomas McName's incredible book, From Birth to Maturity, The Formation of a Cat's Inner World. And let me tell you, listeners, this is going to blow your minds.
Mike, before we jump into the amazing journey of how cats develop, let me set the stage. Thomas McNamee isn't just any writer. He's a naturalist with this incredible ability to blend hardcore scientific research with the most touching personal stories about his own cat, Augusta.
Augusta! I love that we get both the science and the heart in this book. So Sarah, let's start at the very beginning. And I mean the very beginning. What happens the moment a kitten enters this world?
Oh, Mike, this is where it gets absolutely incredible. Picture this. Kittens, like many small predators, are born completely blind and deaf. Can you imagine? They come into this world without sight or sound.
Wait, completely blind and deaf? That sounds so vulnerable. How do they even survive?
Here's the beautiful part. They have one sense that works perfectly from day one. Smell. Their little noses guide them directly to their mother and her milk. And Mike, this isn't just about food. This is when something magical happens. This is when the very first emotional bond with their mother is created.
The first emotional bond. That sounds so important. What happens if that bond doesn't form properly?
Oh, this is where McNamee's research gets really serious. This first bond lays the foundation for either a lifelong sense of security or, if it's missing, a tendency toward fear and aggression. He found that kittens deprived of affection and safety in those crucial first weeks are much more prone to anxiety and defensive behavior for their entire lives.
Wow, so those first days literally shape their entire personality? What about the mother cat herself? What's her role in all this?
The mother cat is absolutely crucial. She's not just feeding them, she's literally building their brains. She licks the kittens constantly to clean them and stimulate their circulation. But here's what's amazing. That physical touch, that skin-to-skin warmth and grooming is actually supporting their neurological development.
Are you telling me that a mother cat licking her babies is actually helping their brains grow? That's incredible.
Exactly. And during this stage, kittens develop this intense dependency on warmth, security, and affection. But here's something that will amaze our listeners. Studies show that kittens handled by humans during their first 2 months grow up to be much more sociable and adaptable than those who aren't.
Human handling makes them more social? That's fascinating. So what happens next in their development? When do they start seeing and hearing?
Okay, get ready for some precise timing that's gonna blow your mind. Around 1 week old, just 1 week, their little ears begin to open. Then, around 10 days, their eyes finally open, though their vision is pretty blurry at first.
10 days to see the world for the first time. When do all their senses finally work together?
By 3 weeks, just 3 weeks, all their senses are largely functional, and they can start exploring their surroundings. But the motor skills, oh, that's where it gets really exciting. By 3 weeks, they're attempting to walk. And around the 4th week, they begin pouncing, wrestling, and play fighting.
Wait, they're play fighting at just 4 weeks old? That sounds adorable. But is there more to it than just being cute?
Mike, this is where McNamee reveals something absolutely brilliant. That pouncing and wrestling isn't just play. It's early training for hunting and survival. This play is essential for building what he calls motor intelligence and social awareness.
So they're basically going to kitten boot camp. Tell me more about this play. It sounds like it's way more important than most people realize.
Yes, McNamee says that for cats, play is far more than entertainment. It's a critical part of mental and social development. When they chase string or feathers, they're revealing their innate predatory instincts. But here's the really cool part. When they play rough and tumble with their siblings, they're learning limits to aggression.
Learning limits to aggression through play? How does that work?
It's brilliant! Picture this. A kitten bites too hard during play, and their sibling squeals. That squeal teaches the first kitten self-control. They learn, okay, that was too much. But Mike, here's the scary part. Kittens deprived of playful interaction often grow into more aggressive or withdrawn adults.
So play isn't optional. It's absolutely essential for proper development. When is the most critical time for socialization?
This is huge, Mike. From 2 to 7 weeks, kittens enter what McNamee calls a critical window of socialization. Exposure to humans, sounds, and varied environments during this period produces cats that are far more confident and sociable. But if they're raised in isolation during this time, they often remain timid and fearful throughout their entire lives.
A critical window that can affect their whole lives. That must be incredibly important information for animal shelters and rescue centers.
Exactly. McNamee specifically mentions that this finding is particularly important for shelters and rescue centers, where early handling can dramatically improve a cat's adoptability. It's not just nice to do, it's life-changing for these animals.
That's amazing how science can help improve animal welfare. So what happens as they continue to grow? When do they hit adolescence?
Cat adolescence. Get ready for some familiar-sounding behavior, Mike. Cats usually reach sexual maturity at 5 to 6 months, and by this time, their personality traits are largely fixed. But adolescence is marked by growing independence and territorial behavior.
Independence and territorial behavior? That sounds like human teenagers. Are there differences between male and female cats?
Yes, males tend to roam and fight more, while females lean toward maternal and social behaviors. And McNamee makes this incredible comparison. He says this stage mirrors human adolescence with its push toward autonomy combined with experimentation and risk-taking.
I love how he connects cat behavior to human behavior. Now, throughout all this scientific information, he's also telling us about his own cat, Augusta, right?
Yes, and this is where the book becomes so touching, Mike. McNamee describes how Augusta grew from a fragile kitten into a confident adult cat. But here's what makes it powerful. He shows the stark differences between Augusta's calm, balanced behavior and that of feral or neglected cats.
So Augusta is like the proof of concept for all this research. Her story shows how environment and early care really do make a difference.
Exactly, which brings us to McNamee's key takeaways that I think will really resonate with our listeners. He says a cat's growth is the result of both genetics and environment. While instincts for hunting and independence are embedded in their DNA, the final personality is deeply shaped by affection, play, and security in early life.
So it's nature and nurture working together. Does he sum this up in any particular way?
He does, and it's beautiful, Mike. He writes, a kitten who receives love and safety in its early weeks becomes a calmer, smarter, and more sociable adult cat.
Wow, Sarah, that quote really hits home. As we wrap up, I have to say, what amazes me most about all of this is how much is happening in those first few weeks that we might not even notice.
What touches me most is realizing that every interaction, every gentle touch, every moment of play, every time we pick up a kitten, we're literally helping shape who they'll become for the rest of their lives. It makes you want to be so much more intentional about how we care for these amazing creatures.
Absolutely. And knowing that those critical windows exist, like the 2 to 7 week socialization period, it really puts the responsibility on us as humans to give kittens the best possible start in life.
Well, listeners, that's part 1 of The Inner Life of Cats. And trust me, this is just the beginning of our journey into understanding our feline friends. Thank you for joining us on this incredible exploration.
Until next time, hug your cats a little tighter. And remember, every moment of love and safety you give them is shaping their inner world in the most beautiful ways.